Degene stopped at last.
Oops.
I'm so tired.
I know, darling, I know.
Go outside, call the police. You might still be alive. Repeat more! Come on, there might still be someone here. Out, now! Please stay outside, go!
It's all right. It's all right. Yeah.
New gaffer isn't here yet, so how do you want to proceed, Sarge? Follow the SOP?
Standard operating procedure. Incident trailers here, Sarge. Where do you want it parked? How far do you want the inner and outer cordons?
How far do you normally...
Uh-oh. Incoming. Think this is her.
Just transfer from London.
Look busy.
DCI Laura McDonald, I'm your SIO. Park that incident trailer over there. I want an inner cordon covering this front bit here. Outer cordon, 50-metre radius. Is there no CCTV out here?
That's his bath, ma'am. No one's allowed to spoil the facade. This house is a listed building.
Chief Super has assigned me a DS Dodds as my deputy.
That's me, ma'am.
Oh, OK. What have we got?
Well, someone's been murdered.
Walk you through it, ma'am. The victim's a white male, one shot to the abdomen.
No ID on him, no wallet, no phone.
Time of death between 7 and 10 p.m. last night.
Body was found at 8 this morning when the owner and his wife came back from an overnight stay in London. The wife called 999 straight away. We were here by 8:07.
No ID? Really? See those tattoos on his fingers? Love and fear. Homemade. Prison tats.
His prints will be on the database.
Anything missing?
Yeah, an ancient Roman artifact, the faceless man, worth 200 grand, taken from up there. Also signs of a break-in through the back door.
Right, show me. Big house. Isn't there an alarm system?
Yeah, it only covers the external doors, but it's not working down here. Damp issue, short-circuited it, and it's not been fixed yet.
Any cameras out here?
Afraid not, ma'am.
What's this, 1920? So, what do we think?
2 intruders, one shoots the other, and scarpers with the statue.
Who's the owner?
Maxton Crockett, MBE, CEO of Crockett Innovation. Entrepreneur, designer, engineer, philanthropist, worth 30 million.
You've checked his alibi?
As we speak.
Hi, Max Crockett.
Good to meet you, Detective.
Oh, Detective Sergeant Dodds, sir. I'm so sorry.
Sergeant?
DCI Laura McDonald, Senior Investigating Officer.
Sorry, unconscious bias.
No worries. So, I know this isn't easy, but I need to go through exactly what happened this morning. So, you said you got back here around 8 a.m.?
Yes, I disabled the alarm. Matilde saw him and screamed out.
So, after...
Is it still raining, sir?
I'm sorry.
When you got home this morning, was it still raining?
No, the rain had stopped.
Oh, my daughter's sorry. They're frantic.
Nearly done. So, after you heard your wife scream, what exactly did you do?
Well, Matilde called police, and I, checked if he was still alive. Who on earth is he?
We don't know yet, sir, but we think he's been in prison.
Checked? Checked how?
Well, his pulse, breathing. Any news on my statue, the faceless man?
Our priority is finding the person that pulled the trigger, sir.
No, I know, sorry, of course, absolutely. But it's just sentimental value. You know, my daughter's brought it for me for Christmas. It was brought here by the Roman Emperor Vespasian. He was one of my heroes.
Yeah, we're in a bit of a hurry. So, one of the officers will take fingerprints and trace samples from both of you. Elimination. Your trace evidence will be all over the body from when you check for signs of life.
Sure, God, sorry. Damn, I didn't realise.
No, you did exactly the right thing, Mr. Crockett. Exactly the right thing.
Oh, yeah. Hi, Meg. Yes, darling, don't worry, we're all fine. Yes, she's fine.
We think he's been in prison, really. You do not tell witnesses, stroke suspects, stroke anybody, anything without my say-so, okay?
Yeah, I'm sorry, ma'am. It's just that it's been a while since I've been,
Operationally deployed?
Yes.
How long?
10 years.
What?
Sorry. 11.
So the victim comes up here, grabs the sculpture thing. His daughter's bought him a 200 grand bit of art.
Crockett's are a very high-achieving family, ma'am. This is what made Mr. Crockett his fortune, ma'am. The classic Crockett iron.
Oh, right, it's the Crockett iron guy. Yeah, my mum's got one of them.
The best thing to come out of Bath since plasticine. It's the motto of Mr. Crockett's company, see? Many problems, one solution. See, what he does is he looks at domestic appliances like irons and vacuum cleaners and food mixers and dishwashers, hair dryers.
Yeah, I know what domestic appliance is.
And he thinks, what is it that annoys you about them things? And he redesigns them. That's Mr. Crockett's genius, ma'am. He makes annoying things disappear.
Not all of them. Doesn't look like the victims rifled around much.
Hi, he took Mr. Crockett's hat.
Ma'am, Max Crockett's alibi checks. Restaurant at the Marylebone Park Hotel, London, between 7 and 11:30 last night. He's 120 miles from here.
Okay.
Oh, and Chief Super is outside.
In at the deep end, eh, Lauren?
Always the way, sir.
It'd help if we could get this place processed and get out of Max Crockett's hair as soon as possible. He's a brilliant man. Employs thousands of people. He's extremely well connected.
We're working around the clock, sir.
And your team? What's the prognosis?
They know what they're doing. They have to do it faster.
Good. Please don't let me down. Oh, and Councillor Wattle from the Police Oversight Committee wants to see you.
Sir, about that little guy you assigned,
DS Dodds.
would he not be better on a desk?
Yeah, he's been on the desk since Waterloo. Plus, he doesn't fit with the design concept of the new crime campus. So, I'd appreciate it if you could nudge him towards early retirement.
Deadwood's got to go, Lauren.
Sergeant Dodds.
Looks like you need a new light bulb, sir.
When? All right. I'll get a handyman to look at it. Sergeant Dodds, could I have a word with you in private?
No wonder your daughters are sick with worry, sir. Terrible thing to happen to you and your young wife in your own house.
I brought my 3 girls up here alone when their mother passed away. And until now, this house has known nothing but love and joy. What happened, Sergeant? 2 men broke into my house, one shot the other and made off with my statue?
Well, that's what it...
Is everything all right, Sergeant?
Is that a peregrine falcon?
Yes, that's right. We've got a pair nesting in the church down there.
Really? That's good news. Possibly.
Sergeant, I was wondering, you asked if it was raining when we got home.
Did I? Oh, yes, I did, didn't I?
Is there any reason that might be important?
I'm not sure, sir. Well, if you look at this stone step here, sir, it's, well, it's wet, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Now look at the floor here. Bone dry.
Sorry, I'm not with you, Sergeant.
Well, we know that the victim was shot between 9:30 and 10 p.m. last night, and that he broke in through this door.
With his mate?
Yeah, but the rain didn't stop till 7:45 this morning. So if this door was lying open all night, then why isn't this stone floor wet?
Yes. It's really odd, isn't it, Sergeant?
Yes, very odd, sir.
Oh, my God! Oh, my God. Sorry, Sergeant, you're going to have to forgive me. I'm getting a little dithery in my old age.
Sir?
Yeah, feel the floor. Yeah, go on. Feel it.
It's warm.
That's right, because when we left for London on Saturday morning, I just turned on the underfloor heating.
That's why the floor's dry.
That's right. So it is what it is, right? So 2 guys break in, one shoots the other.
I'm so sorry, sir. Here's me getting all excited to think there's more to this than meets the eye. It's been a few years since I've been out in the field, so I'm afraid I'm a little bit rusty.
Never do yourself down, Sergeant. I tell you what, it's a pretty Good piece of thinking. Very impressive. Glad you're on this case.
Oh, thank you, sir. I really appreciate that. Yeah.
I'm not saying the needs of the homeless aren't complex and urgent, but as far as this council is concerned, tourism is this city's lifeblood. And I'm sorry, it's unfortunate, but we need a police crackdown on begging and vagrancy. Name of the dead man, please.
That's an operational detail I'm not able to divulge, Mrs. Wattle.
Just joined us from London? Yeah. This is Bath, DCI McDonald. Things are different here. We're not in the north or in the south. We're a kind of city-state, like Renaissance Florence or Byzantium.
Byzantium, where's that?
Turkey.
Never heard of it. Byzantium, not Turkey.
It's called Istanbul now.
Oh, is it? Okay.
I asked John, Chief Superintendent Houseman, for a briefing from you because, as Vice Chair of the Police Oversight Committee, I have a personal interest in the fact that a man was found dead in my father's house this morning. I'm Max Crockett's eldest daughter.
No one told me that, Mrs. Wattle. But until we've identified the victim and I've contacted their next of kin, there's really nothing I can do.
It's Dad's retirement party this Saturday. I mean, so much going on with his company. Just couldn't have come at a worse time for him.
And his wife's about to give birth.
Of course. That too.
Well, the peregrine falcon is the fastest living creature on the planet. Seabirds that have adapted to city life, so they nest in church towers. There, look, see?
That's very interesting, Sergeant.
So what's your point?
Oh, well, we have a view of the tower, don't we?
Yeah.
So the tower has a view of the whole of the back of the house. Well, peregrine falcons are a protected species, so to safeguard them against rare bird dealers and egg hunters, the RSPB, they put cameras in and around the nest.
So we might get a view of the killer?
We should source the webcam footage.
We got hit on the victim's prints. Turned out he had ton time, drugs and petty theft. 3 convictions for burglary.
So you were right, ma'am.
Shit, you know, I'm really good at this. Oh, well done your penguin falcon thing, by the way. Tech services are all over it.
Peregrine?
Victim's name is Seth Murdoch. Age 43, homeless, no known relatives. So our working theory is 2 burglars. Burglar 1 shoots burglar 2, our victim, and takes the sculpture. If that's all they took, they were steamed to order, which means they've wrecked the place. So we're canvassing the neighbourhood houses.
Oh, they weren't like that, man. There's a lot of money here. These folk like their privacy.
Man's dead. Someone's out there with a gun, scared them shitless. I want a fingertip search of the house and grounds. If the victim had a phone, let's find it. His phone tells us everything. But the missing sculpture is even more important. Get onto the Met's Art and Antique Squad. More on the Faceless Man. Known collectors, known thieves. That 200 grand statue is the key to this whole inquiry. Get the Faceless Man, we get the killer. You better step up. We paid the deposit. All right, have you done the radiators? Have you bled the radiators? Right, landlord and radiators. Chicken and veg. I'm off the carbs today. All right, bye. Why are men all so totally shit? You. Ballistics report. Bullet striations show a left-hand twist as it exits the barrel. Colt 1911s. The only mass-produced handguns with a left-hand twist. Old school, but the army likes them. Check report of thefts from military installations. South London gang wars. I know a lot about guns. A lot. Sorry, you're with me, aren't you?
Whoa, Rush. I know. Sorry, Tor.
Dad!
Hey,
right.
I'm fine tomorrow. All right, darling, I'm fine. We're all fine.
Mathilde, my God, how are you? I'm good. The baby is fine, but our house is full of police.
Okay, well, let's grab a coffee, girlfriend. It's been ages.
Max. Jack. How you doing? I'm fine. Fine, yeah, thank you.
Our house, Dad, it's the safest place in the world. What's happened to this country? Max, du won't hear
You're right, darling. Look, guys, sorry to rush you. I've got the design team working around the clock.
Dad, you can't just pretend nothing's happened.
Hey. First rule of business, lead by example. Right, talking of business, how's yours? Great.
Yeah. Affordable art for the masses. Market's booming, Dad.
That's good. I love you.
I love you.
Come on.
Oh, Jack. Do you think this will wreck their marriage?
I hope so, darling. I hope so.
Oh, it's a bloody city. Everything looks the same. You know where we're going, right?
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely not.
Right, just to be clear, when we get there, I'm leading the interview. These guys at the homeless shelter, I think...
It's a halfway house, ma'am. It's for former offenders, part of their rehabilitation.
Yeah, exactly. Criminals. Which means you really don't give anything away to anybody. You got that?
Ah.
What is it?
Left turn back there. Yeah. I've just missed it. Yeah. Sorry.
Me and Seth weren't really mates. Kept himself to himself. Strange guy. Really clever.
When's the last time you saw him, Mikey?
He left about 8 o'clock on Sunday night.
Did he say where he was going?
No, I heard him on his mobile. He seemed excited.
He did have a phone?
Yeah, a little pay-as-you-go.
What did you hear him say?
Not much. Said he was going to a swanky restaurant.
Swanky restaurant? Which one?
Didn't say. Seemed different. Happy, like someone had opened the sunroof.
So, where were you Sunday night?
What?
Elimination. Where were you between 8:30 and 2 a.m.?
Begging. I got a patch down London Road. I approached hundreds of people, but they'll not remember me. They never do they?
All right, we'll take it from here. No friends, no family, no past, no future. Perfect murder victim, really. Guy no one will miss.
Looks like he's got some fresh mud on his boots.
Cauliflower?
He's got an allotment?
Maybe. He did have dirt under his fingernails when we found him. I'll chase that up. Oh, we've got a result from the webcam for your penguin falcon.
Peregrine?
Turns out you can see the house from the Nest Cam. Back door itself is hidden by trees, but we've got a view of the only path leading to it, and there he is, 9:32 last night. That's with the time of death.
Are you sure that's him?
We've blown it up and enhanced it. Seth Murdoch.
So where's his mate?
Well, that's the thing, ma'am. No one else shows up until our guys arrive early this morning.
You sure about that?
Well, all the windows and the front door were locked and alarmed, and it didn't trip during the night.
Okay. So, Seth's alone. He's off to an expensive restaurant, but he's broken in here, nicked the statue.
And a nice hat for the restaurant.
And a nice hat for the restaurant. Are you taking the piss? I think someone's been murdered. A nice hat for the restaurant? Who was wearing Max Crockett's hat? Yeah, exhibits. Seth was wearing a Henrik Julian shirt. They're over 100 quid a pop. And this guy's homeless.
Ma'am, I noticed that the bulb in the main light wasn't working.
And he was wearing the shirt and the hat.
And it must have been quite dark.
You, get a list of the key holders that know the alarm code for the front door. Right. I'm here for 2 years tops, so don't get attached to me. But while I'm here, I'm going to solve cases in half the time with half the manpower and resources. And you know how? Confessions. because they save time and money, and management love you for it. So, boys, it's time to put some serious pressure on our suspects.
We have suspects?
Just so we're clear, the victim's name is Seth Murdoch. Now, you're certain, all of you, that you've never seen this man before?
No,
I've never seen him before. Sergeant Dodds?
Oh, right. Yes. Right, well, we know that the victim was wearing your shirt and hat, Mr. Crockett, and he was of a similar height and build as you, and that it was dark because the bulb was out, which means, sorry to tell you that...
We think you were the intended target, Mr. Crockett.
What?
Oh, my goodness.
Why? So, what happened to the second intruder?
There was no second intruder. Seth was the only person to enter your house through the back door between Sunday night and Monday morning. He
was alone? Oh. How do you know that?
Well, I found that peregrine falcon's nest in the church over there, sir, and the RSPB camera gave us a view of the back of your house. What that means is the killer came in through the front door. Now, if he or she broke in, then the alarm would have triggered a police response, but it didn't.
According to the list you gave us, Mr. Crockett, your 3 daughters and 2 sons-in-law are the only key holders who know the alarm code.
You can't be serious, for God's sake.
All right.
Wow. Ellie, this is not funny.
So, you actually think that one of us, premeditated, went to Max's last night with a loaded gun?
Don't even say it, Pete.
No, everyone here loves you.
I know that, darling.
We're going to need fingerprints and trace samples from all of you.
Excuse me. Why on earth would any of us want to kill Dad? We are a close and loving family.
Most murder victims are killed by members of their own family.
Well, maybe where you come from, but not here. We should cooperate. If we're innocent, they'll rule us out.
No one in this room has the capability or capacity to... You are making some very basic error here, DCI McDonald, and I just hope it doesn't come back to bite you. But we'll all cooperate because none of us have anything to hide. So, my retirement dinner goes ahead as planned, and I will still be passing the torch. In the meantime, I've got a world to change.
We'll need samples from all of you. With your consent, of course.
I've defended clients before who've been intimidated by overambitious detectives. It won't work, DCI McDonald. You're not in London now.
Lauren?
Sir!
So an hour ago, I'm enjoying a sequestered eggs Florentine and some quality me time in Aldo's when in walks Pete Wattle, claiming you were grandstanding, hauling out the whole Crockett family in front of...
Sir, we've got 5 suspects, all family members, with their trace evidence all over the crime scene. I haven't got a murder weapon, haven't got anything from forensics or pathology. I mean, do you want me to just sit around and wait, or do you want me to put pressure on the suspects?
These aren't just a bunch of rabid inner-city gangbangers, Lauren. This is the Crockett family.
Yeah, and family means motive. So, right now, under the pretext of checking alibis, we uncover motives, which we can then use as leverage to force confessions. You brought me here to lead inquiries, right?
Good point. Well made. I mean, I suppose if it all goes catastrophically wrong, then I've only got you to blame.
Right, you with me. Suspects. Where's
Sergeant Dodds, he said he was going to the library.
What's he doing there?
What's he doing anyway?
Sunday night, I was in my office. Big caseload, so I was working late, alone. Proves nothing, as you know.
And where was your wife, sir?
The boys were at cricket training. Extra sessions. There's a league decider coming up. I was in bed. working on my speech about homelessness. No one else was here.
The girls with the childminder, and I was here, alone in the study, writing.
How about you, sir? Sunday night.
I was at the storage facility from about 8 until 1 a.m. We buy and sell art. There was a lot of stock to check the provenance on.
Oh, come on. We're nice, vanilla, middle-class people. We go glamping. We play bowls on the weekend. Where's any of us going to get a firearm?
You've maybe made a few criminal contacts along the way, Mr. Watson.
Really?
Yesterday, when Max said he was going to pass on the torch, what did he mean?
His company. When he retires, it all goes to one of his daughters.
Which one?
We find out tomorrow. Big announcement at the party. Max can be a bit theatrical at times.
So his 3 daughters and their partners, you're all competing for his £30 million fortune?
No, actually, we're not like that. Not everything's about money.
I don't know if you've noticed, but we are very successful and solvent in our own right.
And happy. Extremely happy, delightfully so. Till this.
Happy? My family? Don't believe a word of it. Especially not with Max's party coming up.
Yeah, inheritance causes a lot of trouble in families. My like went mental over a transit van and an antique piano store.
Cool.
How'd you get on with your dad?
Yeah, I love him. I mean, he is an arsehole. Not enough that I want to kill him. I just don't want his money.
30 million's a lot not to want.
Yeah, well, some of us are happy just baking lovely cakes and turning them on his profit.
How do you afford to pay your share of the faceless man?
Oh, I didn't. No way. That was my sisters and their dumb husbands.
They must be happy that you're out the running.
Pigs in shit. Or at least they were until last year when my dad comes back from some conference in Dubai with Matilde.
Trophy wife?
Well, there's actually a lot more to her than meets the eye. Yeah, as soon as my sisters found out that, in fact, she's a high-flying management consultant who's worked for Google and Calvin Klein, they went tonto. Tomorrow's giddy on antidepressants, fawning all over Matilde, trying to impress Dad, and Megan's just chewing her knuckles. It would be just like them to shoot the wrong guy.
So, can you tell us where you were Sunday night between 9:30 and midnight?
Oh, Kasha, Sunday night we were here, weren't we, doing VAT returns? Yeah, but I left at... Oh, shit, sorry, yes. So, Kasha had to go to her mum's. I was here myself until about 11. Can I go? I've got a delivery to make.
OK.
Would you...
Oh, sorry.
Thank you.
I'll be back by 1300 hours.
Roger that.
You OK?
You marry a Crockett and there's a lot of baggage, mostly from Max.
You know, if there's anything you think I should know...
Max doesn't think I'm good enough for Ellie. It's not a gay thing. I come from travelling people. But Elle knows his weak spot.
Weak spot?
Max Crockett loves to be loved. He loves to be hated, but he hates to be ignored.
Sergeant Dodds. I was just passing and, oh, you're reading my book?
Yes. Oh, just, well, it's fascinating, sir. The things that you've achieved from such humble origins, it's remarkable. And how you developed your hot battery technology.
I was lucky, Sergeant. I just felt lucky.
I find that very hard to believe.
No, I mean, it all began in failure. When I either developed the theory and built the prototype, there was one small problem. My battery became dangerously hot when charged. But then I thought, hang on, why not just put the battery inside a domestic iron?
And the battery and the heating element are one and the same thing.
Right, many problems.
One solution.
Oh, I miss those days. Just me in a bedsit, a drawing board full of equations, a head full of dreams and visions. You have children yourself, Sergeant?
No, sir, I don't. But this must be awful for you. to think that one of your own daughters or sons-in-law might have...
I told my girls from the start, I am going to pass my fortune to only one of them. So I sent them out in the world to prove that they could stand tall, be successful and independent, and stand on their own 2 feet. I didn't want them spoiled. I wanted them to go out there and strive, make sacrifices, take risks. All right, yes, okay. I sent them in competition with each other, but I did it for love, not money. And my girls understand that. What worries me is that people might twist my so-called winner-takes-all approach to conclude that one of my family might have a motive to want me dead.
Well, yes, but DCI McDonald does have the evidence from the alarm system.
DCI McDonald? Sure. Look, Sergeant, I may be clutching at straws here, but I've been talking to my contacts in the private security industry, and, you know, those alarms can be hacked if you know what you're doing. And I was wanting a killer with that kind of expertise that can disable an alarm and then deliver a fatal shot in cold blood. Could that not possibly be the MO of a...
Professional, a professional killer.
I'm an entrepreneur, an innovator. You know, I've made a lot of enemies over the years, and of course there's been women, married women, and, of course, angry husbands.
Oh.
Sergeant, take this. And there's a list of all the people that may hold a grudge against me. There's been one attempt on my life. And who's not to say that the people behind it may not try again?
Now, there's a thought. Well, I'll certainly follow up on this, sir.
Thank you, Sergeant. You know, you're a kind, reassuring voice amidst all this sound and fury. You call me old-fashioned. Men like you don't get the respect and recognition that you deserve these days.
So, Max Crockett, all about inheritance. He's supposed to name his successor, but check this out. In the event of his sudden death, his entire fortune is split equally between his 3 daughters.
How do you know that, ma'am?
I wheedled it out of Cassia Perry.
Who's that?
Crockett's wife.
Wife?
So, the new Mrs. Crockett gets her Jimmy Choos under the table, and suddenly the daughters and husbands are thinking she might walk away with the lot. So, maybe a third of 30 million isn't so bad after all, and bang! Seth Murdoch's dead, by mistake. 5 suspects, all with a motive, and not one with an alibi. And Max Crockett has brought it all on himself. I mean, winner takes all. Who does that?
Well, Mr. Crockett seems very upset. He said he did it for their own good.
Oh, yeah, right. The guy's got an ego you can see from space. And he's using the promise of his fortune to leverage this love and adoration from them.
That's very astute, ma'am.
Emotional intelligence. I'm good that way. You put butter in your chips?
It's an old habit from when I was young.
Can't imagine you young.
That's what my wife said. Oh, ma'am, I forgot. Mr. Crockett. He gave me this list of his potential enemies. He thinks that someone might have hired a professional killer to do away with him.
And he just gave this to you, did he? What's with the columns?
Well, that's some professional ones. They're business rivals, you know, enemies.
And the personal? They're all blokes.
Well, they're all husbands of women he's had relations with. So.
Gross. I don't know. I did 18 months in organised crime at the Met, and professional killings get a nose for these things. I don't buy it. What now?
Now, it's Councillor Megan Wattle on my case. 40-minute phone call. Accusing us of harassing her family.
Like I said, we don't have a murder weapon. I haven't heard anything from forensics.
Except the results of your sweep of military thefts. For Colt 1911s?
Has that come through? Sorry, I haven't had a
End
chance.
of last year, 6 Colt 1911s disappeared from Tiverton Barracks, a few miles from here. Guns stolen from military installations.
End up in the hands of organised crime, yeah.
Mrs. Wattle seems to be suggesting you're developing a fixation with her family. Is she right?
No, sir. I'm just covering all bases. Mr. Crockett actually gave us a list of his enemies, professional and personal.
Good. Go through it with a fine-tooth comb, as a priority.
But how would any of these people know Crockett's alarm clock?
Lauren, if your theory is right about the Crockett family, then until he announces a successor, they're hardly at flight risk, are they? Oh, and how's it going with nudging Dodds towards retirement?
Yeah. I'm working on it, sir. Hey. Have we found Seth Maddox's allotment?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Now, it's owned by the halfway house. It's part of their rehabilitation.
Oh, yeah, right. Grow some arrows and they won't nick any cars.
No, it is here somewhere.
Paperless office.
So, what does that mean?
What's with the scarf?
Oh, they put me under the air conditioning unit. Ah, here it is. West Park Lane.
Let's go.
Oh.
Oh, are you mental? That is the 5th time you've locked yourself out since I've met you. Yeah, all right. I'll send round a uniform and my keys.
What does he do, ma'am, your boyfriend?
Oh, it's thick as shit. What does he do for a job, you mean? He's a heating engineer. So if you have any trouble with your boiler, give me a shout.
He's not as clever as you, then.
Unbelievable. On our first date, he actually thought there were 2 suns. Seriously, he thought the sun in Florida was different to the sun we have over here. But I suppose I'd rather have thick than unfaithful. Do you reckon Houseman's setting me up for a fall? I mean, first day on the job, he gives me a high-profile case and lumbers me with you, no offence.
Oh, none taken, ma'am.
See, that's sneaky on my being power.
I don't know, ma'am. I don't really think about Superintendent Houseman.
Oh, I do. First thing in the morning and last thing at night, and not in a good way. To me.
Sorry, ma'am, I must be getting old.
They, offered you early retirement yet?
Yeah. Every year for the last 10 years.
Whoa! You guys really did win the jackpot, didn't you? I'll be working till I'm 90 at this rate. So, retirement, not tempted?
I like the police, ma'am. I don't know what I'd do otherwise.
Spend more time with your wife?
Oh, my wife left me 30 years ago. There's something there, ma'am. Gordon, VIP companionship.
Sound like the boys.
Available to upscale, discerning gentlemen. Gordon is English-born, degree-educated, fluent in several languages, available for special events, dinner and dates, etc.
Oh, yeah? Etc. Whoa. We got it wrong. Max Crockett wasn't the target. It was always Seth. I hope I'm right about this. Better be right about this. Houseman will kill me if I'm not right. Do you think I'm right?
Well, ma'am, that's definitely Seth Murdoch there. Look, you can see by the tattoos on his fingers there. Love, it's clear as day.
Yeah, of course I'm right. Seth is the target because he knew what was rotten underneath the facade. Big happy family, my arse. Do you think people resent me for getting this job?
No, ma'am, no.
Do you resent me?
No, ma'am, I don't resent you. I don't resent anyone, really.
I do. Especially the bloody Crocketts. Off you go, Pete. Last thing we want's a defense lawyer in the room when we take down your lovely wife. What's this about exactly?
Sorry, darling. Forgot my sunglasses. Have you...
Watch and listen.
When you submit your proposal, do not under any circumstances use the words affordable and housing, okay?
Okay. How much would you need?
15K. Cash.
Where did you get this?
Oh, Seth Murdoch's allotment, sir.
We've run your financial profile. You guys have been living way beyond your means. 20 years trying to prove to old Max that you deserve his money. 100 grand on that faceless man thing at Christmas. That must have hurt. So, to make ends meet, this.
Was Seth Murdoch blackmailing you, Mrs. Wattle?
No. Oh, come on. Why would he go to all this trouble if it wasn't for some kind of sting?
First, Seth Murdoch does not actually appear in that footage.
Check the hands. The tattoos on his fingers, love and fear.
Common among guys in jail of a certain vintage. Second, no money actually changes hands.
Council won't like it.
Third, you have no physical evidence placing my wife in her dad's house at the time of the murder. So unless she confesses... Meg, did you kill Seth Murdoch?
No.
Well, there you go.
This won't go away. But then again, you might win the max jackpot tomorrow. Then you can buy your way out of it, eh?
Difficult thing to prove, blackmail, man. If we'd have found a load of money in Seth's allotment, we might have been able to link it with the...
You're an upscale, discerning gentleman.
Eh?
Come on. It takes 3 days and a shitload of red tape to get a warrant to trace the number.
Hello? Hello?
Hello. Could I speak to Gordon, please?
Gordon doesn't take direct calls, but he is available tonight if you'd like to make a booking. Where are you?
I'm in the car.
Location-wise, where are you?
I'm in Bath. I'm in Bath.
Gordon can be available in Gloucester. Does the Edenbridge Hotel bar at 9 p.m. work?
Yeah, that's fine.
Gordon charges 200 for each hour's companionship, 2,000 for an overnight stay.
He charges?
If that's too expensive.
No, it's fine. No, it's fine.
Can I have a first name Gordon can confirm with you, sir?
Sid.
Enjoy your evening. Sid.
Thank you.
Okay, Sid. Get your bingo dress on.
Sid?
You told us you didn't recognize Seth Murdoch.
I didn't.
And how come he had this? Was he one of your punters? Was he blackmailing you?
I don't know. I've never seen him before in my life. I swear it.
You guys are drowning in debt. All this art you can't shift. Your business is failing because you botched up the finances, so you have to put on a front. Because if her dad finds out, there goes your chance at 30 million. So Jack turns tricks.
He used to do it to pay his way through uni. It's not actually illegal.
It was you who answered the phone when I called Mrs. Valentine.
This isn't funny.
There is nothing funny about pimping
Would
out.
you not call it that, actually? And he likes it.
Oh, piss off. 3 kids at private school, mortgage on this place, 100,000 to buy Max's stupid faceless man. And what's your contribution, Tamara? You're writing a bloody children's book. the Wizard of Bumblegump.
Jack, look at me. Did you kill Seth Murdoch because he was blackmailing you?
I was with a client on Sunday night, a married man. Give them his number.
You know, Chanel wanted me to model for them. I was a singer, I had a record deal. And I'm not supposed to be poor.
Well, maybe tomorrow it'll all change. Although, I'm betting on the new wife.
No, absolutely not.
We've connected Seth Murdoch to Meghan and Pete Wattle and Tamara and Jack Valentine. They all claim not to recognise him.
Their financial activity shows absolutely no sign of any large cash withdrawals in the last 2 months. No evidence of blackmail.
So why did Murdoch have all this compromising material on them?
Let's say I'm one of Max Crockett's family.
Yeah, you'd love that.
Excuse me?
Nothing.
I'm a Crockett. I'm being blackmailed by Seth Murdoch. You know, I have to get rid of him. Why would I do it in Crockett's house? It makes no sense. Sorry, Lauren, but there's no basis for you to interview any of them under caution. Lauren, I want you on this health and safety course for the rest of today, just in case you were thinking about gate crashing Max Crockett's party.
What are you doing this afternoon?
Well, I've got a pitch and putt tournament.
Close the woolies and tell him your hernia's playing up.
Okay, everyone, to the camera. 3, 2, 1.
Sergeant Dodds, always good to see you. Any joy on the leads I gave you? Professional killing?
Oh, no, sir. It actually wasn't necessary to follow up on that, sir.
No?
No, you see, Seth Murdoch was the intended target.
Oh, really? Well, that's, yeah, weight off my mind. I suppose you're back looking for his accomplice.
Well, that's the not-so-good news, sir. DCI McDonald has reason to believe that Seth was shot by one of your family.
Yeah, yes, all right, I'm coming. Sergeant, sorry, what possible reason would a member of my family have for shooting a homeless man?
So I can't go into that,
Sergeant
sir.
Dodds, please.
I'm sorry, but DCI McDonald likes to keep control of the flow of information.
Yeah, sure, I understand. No, I understand. Sergeant Dodds, would it be inappropriate for me to reach out to Murdoch's family and perhaps help with the funeral expenses?
Oh, that's very generous of you, sir, considering he did try and rob you. But I'm afraid that Seth didn't have any family, sir.
Friends?
Well, not that we can ascertain.
Really? Well, there must be someone.
Oh, well, just this Mikey someone at the homeless refuge.
On Ballstock Road?
Yes, that's right. DCI McDonald.
Sergeant, I'm sorry, but I really have a feeling there's something not right about this.
Sir?
But look at me. Now look at you. Well, what do we have in common?
Nothing, sir.
No, not quite. We're both men. We're both middle-aged. And we're both... I just wonder whether DCI McDonald's unhealthy preoccupation with me and my family might read, you know, colouring a judgment. I mean, first of all, she thinks one intruder shot the other, and then she thinks I was the target because Murdoch's in my clothes and my family want to kill me, and then suddenly my family want to kill Murdoch. I mean, come on. You look baffled, Sergeant.
Well, it's just this case, sir. I tell you, it's like the universe. The more we know, the less we understand.
Notitiae di cognizione.
From information to knowledge.
What, you know Latin?
No, sir. It's just that phrase, sir. I'm sure I've seen it somewhere recently.
Matt! Yeah, all right, coming.
Kick your height, sir.
I always do, Sergeant. Always. Crockett. I'm afraid time's winged chariot has brought me to the moment when I must pass the torch to the next generation. Crockett Innovation is about more than balance sheets and shareholder dividends. It's about values, inclusion, diversity, social responsibility. So it's vital the custodian of my legacy should be a creative, pragmatic, and inspirational woman. But it's not enough that she bear the Crockett name. No, we need an outstanding business leader. So, I will be leaving my company and all the intellectual property rights and the patents of my inventions to one person, and one person only. The new CEO and chair of Crockett Innovation will be my beautiful, devoted daughter, Eleonora.
Dad, I'm flattered that you trust me with your life's work. But to be honest, you can stick your money and your company up your arse.
Ellie? He chose Ellie?
She's not happy about it, Mum. None of them are happy about it.
You can't do this, Dad. You can't bloody do this.
I've always listened to you. Everything you wanted me to do, I've done.
Ellie hates you. She's always hated you. And she doesn't even want this. The things she said in front of everyone, she tried to humiliate you.
You need to make a rational decision about this. Crockett Innovation should stay in the family.
I know. Eleonora will see sense.
You've left us no choice. We're making a legal challenge, Max.
On what basis?
Ellie's not a fit person to run this company.
She doesn't have the business qualifications.
I don't give a shit about qualifications. Look at me. I didn't have any qualifications and I built an empire. What do you mean, not fit? Who have you lot are fit? Come on, who's not been hiding a dirty little secret that if it came out would ruin my empire?
Looks like you did him a favour. Tell him about Megan tomorrow.
I didn't tell him that.
Really? Are you sure? Because you are a bit incontinent that way.
No, ma'am. You control the flow of information.
Okay. Ellie was the only one that Seth didn't have compromising material on. So, is that why Max chose her? Because he knew about Megan and Tamara's indiscretions?
Municipal corruption. Gay prostitution.
How do you know about that?
Nothing gets past me, Poppet.
Has Max been lying to us? Did he have contact with Seth?
The police are convinced that one of you lot killed him. Well, I don't care, because I'll protect you. And why? Because we're family. But you'll do as I say, all of you.
No. You'll do what I say. All of you.
But there's terms and conditions. I want Jack, Tamara, and Megan on the board.
My beloved daughter, in whom I'm well pleased.
It's unbelievable. He's quoting God.
Cash changed my mind.
I just pointed out what was obvious. Your dad loves you, and he found a way to show it.
The House of Crockett.
House of Crockett.
There's something not right about old Max. He's the key to this, one way or another. His daughters are his trophies, and he likes his trophies nice and shiny. So maybe it was Max that Seth was blackmailing.
Eleonora is the best qualified candidate for the job.
Pity she knocked you back, eh? Who gets it now, the wife?
Eleonora changed her mind.
Why? How'd you manage that? You going somewhere?
No, you are, Lauren.
Sir, we think that your decision to appoint Ellie, but it might have been influenced by other factors.
Oh, Sarge. Sarge, I'm really disappointed in you. You know, yesterday, I asked you to be honest with me, and yet you hid behind DCI McDonald's preoccupations.
Preoccupations?
Yeah, when we could have saved ourselves an awful lot of time. You see, I think I explained to you that my daughters, they love me, you know, they trust me. And yesterday morning, before I made the decision, Megan and Tamara came to me and told me that you had uncovered their misdemeanors. And yes, that is why I chose Eleonora. And yet, this amateur theory that you seem to be pushing here, that I have some loose connection with this Seth Murdoch, is based purely on DCI McDonald's issues with men like us, when in fact, she should be concentrating on finding my statue of the faceless man. Because in truth, whoever's got my statue of the faceless man is the murderer, Seth Murdoch. Isn't that right, Sergeant? Well... Why do you hate me, Lauren?
I think you need to calm down, sir.
I don't need to be told to calm down by people like you.
People like me. And what exactly do you mean by that, people like me?
Well, I meant you're from London. That's what I meant. Why? What did you think I meant? Bad news, Lauren.
What is going on?
Drug squad's just solved your murder. Anonymous tip-off. Michael Wallace, known associate of Seth Murdoch, was dealing heroin. Ray's just found a substantial stash, plus this.
No.
The faceless man.
Seth Murdoch broke into the Crockett's house alone. We've got the footage. He didn't have an accomplice.
He hacked the front door alarm.
Him? Seriously?
Max Crockett planted it.
How would Max Crockett know he was Seth's associate?
I told him.
Shit! How many bloody times have I told you not to leak information?
I'm so sorry, Mom.
I'm sorry, sir. I don't know what's going on here, but Max Crockett has been messing with our entire investigation.
Because what? He's guilty of murder with a cast-iron alibi.
Okay, but he...
One of Bath's most prominent citizens, and he's sneaking in there and planting evidence on a homeless man. Really? Any actual progress you've made on this case so far has been by accident rather than design. Maybe this worked in London, Lauren, shouting in people's faces. But this is Bath. First thing tomorrow, full case review, and nothing is off the table, including SIO role.
Yes, sir.
Are the boys in the station right? Have we over-promoted you?
Where's he gone?
Don't know, ma'am.
Ma'am. Mikey Wallace wants to confess.
Confess?
He's in interview room 2. And ma'am, there's something else?
No, there's nothing else. OK, Mikey, let's hear it.
Before we start recording, DCR McDonald, a few ground rules. My father-in-law is funding Mr. Wallace's legal fees. He's all too aware of your predilection to put your personal advancement above duty and justice.
You've spoken to your friends at the CPS and cut a deal.
The CPS fully understand that Mr. Wallace has complex needs, with mental health issues.
I've been done here, haven't I?
And this city is what it is. Clear your desk, back to London. Jump before you're pushed.
Ma'am? Sergeant Dodds needs a word.
Where is he?
The library.
The library again. What is it with him and the
He
bloody...
said it's urgent, really urgent.
OK. Take Mikey's statement.
Notitia di cognizione.
Nope.
It's Latin, ma'am. It means from information to knowledge. It is the motto of the Bath City University's School of Applied Design.
Case review in the morning.
Max Crockett is a graduate of that institution.
And he's made me look stupid.
And yet he covers his whole 4 years there in just 2 sentences in this book.
Maybe I am stupid.
So I found this old book published by the university. Where is it?
Is there a quick version of this?
Oh, there's my spectacles. There. They're on my head, aren't they?
Oh, God! I just want to be a successful cop and do intelligence and anti-terrorism and go undercover and have a nice little house on a new build estate with a utility room and a couple of kids that don't annoy people and 2 weeks every year in Tenerife because I bloody love Tenerife, but not the all-inclusive because they water down the booze in the all-inclusive, and why is everything so difficult?
Ma'am, We're in a library.
No, we're not. We're in hell. We're in actual hell.
Ma'am, I'm so sorry that I dropped you in it, but... Max Crockett is a very manipulative article. But he's not invincible. Class of 73. There's Max Crockett. Now, look at the only female in the picture, identified as Margaret Callahan. And look here. She's wearing an engagement ring. But there's nothing of a youthful engagement in Max Crockett's autobiography. So, I delved into Margaret Callahan's records and, well, I found this.
Bloody hell. Bloody hell. Are you even a thing? Look, I haven't been to the gym for a couple of days, so my head's a bit wild, so, what just happened there? Never happened, okay?
For 5 years, it's been a privilege to represent the ward of Royal Victoria and serve the people of Bath, and I've loved every second of every minute of my time on this council. And so with deep thanks to my party colleagues, officers of the authority, staff, opponents, I leave you. But I do so with the news that the Crockett Foundation will be investing £1 million over 3 years in relieving homelessness in our delightful little city.
Mr. Crockett, Seth Murdoch was your son.
Dad?
Oh, please, another wild theory?
Max, let's go. This way, through there.
Margaret Callahan! Seth's mother and your fiancé at university. Although you left her as soon as you got her pregnant. She died when Seth was 2, and he grew up in care in foster homes and took the surname of his last foster family, Murdoch.
I didn't know about this, honestly.
Doesn't matter. May I remind you that Mikey Wallace has confessed to the murder of Seth Murdoch.
Bloody hell, Max. You've really played a blinder here, haven't you? What happened? Your long-lost son didn't fit in with the family image. It wasn't enough that you abandoned him. You had to get rid of him for good.
Do not talk to me like that. You don't touch me. You don't touch my family. And when my new baby is born, I retire gracefully to my house in Antibes. Then Eleanora takes command. Then you, Laura McDonald, are back where you belong. Nowhere.
He's wrong, ma'am. We're not nowhere.
We're not somewhere either. I did it. I'm right. I know I'm right. Do you think I'm right?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Oh, look at him. All the motive in the world, but he can't have bloody done it because it's 120 miles away when Seth was shot.
He may not have pulled the trigger, it doesn't mean he's not the killer. Somehow he managed to plant the faceless man on Mikey Wallace. Or he got someone to do it for him.
Same person that pulled the trigger?
Well, maybe. If Max Crockett did plant the faceless man on Mikey Wallace, then he must have been in possession of it from the start. Which means he must have tampered with the crime scene.
But can we prove it?
No, we can't.
And he's been derailing us ever since. First he was pushing the 2 burglar scenario. Then it was a professional killing. And just as we were on his case, he frames Mikey Wallace. God, I never had to deal with this kind of shit in London. Max Crockett is behind the death of his own son, and what happens? When my baby is born, I will retire to Antibes and Ellie will take command, and you, Lauren McDonald, will be back where you... Take command. He did say take command, didn't he?
Yes.
And the other day, she used 24-hour clock. She said, I'll see you at 1300 hours. That's military talk. Ellie Crockett was an army cadet at university.
We've got the shooter, man.
But I want the killer. What?
You know, just back there. Young Mrs. Crockett was, well, she was too hot, and I wonder...
What do you wonder?
Shooter and the killer, man. I think maybe we can get both.
Where's Sergeant Dodds, ma'am?
In his own little world. Where else?
Yes, Max is very forgetful. He's always leaving the central heating on.
Ah, and it's the summer, too, isn't it? It must have been like a furnace when you got back here on Monday morning.
No, the heating was off. I checked before I left.
Are you sure, Mrs. Crockett?
Oui. I was the last to leave, and Max was out in the car.
Are you okay, madam? Do you want me to call?
Oh, it's okay. I'll call Max.
Where's Ellie?
Here.
I've drilled into your background. Officer cadet at Bristol University, where you learn all about firearms. These guys are going to search your house until they find the gun that was used to kill Seth Murdoch. Colt 1911, Ellie.
I wasn't like Megan and Tamara. Confident, and beautiful, and talented. He made me feel like I didn't belong in his family. My whole childhood, he made me an outsider. Ellie wasn't perfect. Who is? But he wants everything to be perfect. But I guess that's not right. He doesn't want everything to be perfect. He wants everything to look perfect. I tried my whole life to ignore him. I really tried. But he found a way to get to me. He found a way to force his company on me, didn't he? He's good at that, Kasha. Making you do things you don't want to do.
I need everything. In detail.
Congratulations, Mr. Crockett. Another daughter, I hear.
Thank you, Sergeant.
The miracle of life, eh? How's your young wife?
Yeah, she's fine. Glowing. Look, ever since this chap confessed to the murder, I just rather distance myself from this, whole sorry business.
Oh, of course, sir, but there's just one little loose end we need to tie up. Now, your young wife told me quite categorically that she was the last to leave here on Saturday morning and that she switched off the central heating. After you arrived back here on Monday morning, you switched the heating back on again to explain why the floor here wasn't wet, which proves that it was you who faked the break-in.
Very good.
Well, never underestimate the middle-aged white man, eh?
And you've been running rings round us ever since.
Oh, she's bad.
To cover up your involvement in the murder of your son.
I did not know he was my son, and I have a perfectly good alibi on the night of the murder.
You might not have pulled the trigger, but you are the killer.
Well, then, find the money, eh? Prove that I paid.
Oh, you didn't pay them. That would be vulgar, Max. You persuaded them.
Really? Oh, that's very good, really. How could I possibly persuade someone to kill a stranger? I mean, I'm good, you know, but I'm not that good.
You didn't persuade them to kill a stranger. You persuaded them to kill somebody they knew and hated. You.
You arranged your own murder, Mr. Crockett.
Right, very good. I think I'd better make a call to my son-in-law.
Oh, come on. You're not going to hide behind your lawyer, are you? Max Crockett, smartest guy in the room.
If you'd just hear us out, sir. On Sunday night, you promised Seth Murdoch a fancy meal, but he didn't have the right clothes for a swanky restaurant, so you gave him the back door key to this house. You left an expensive Henrik Julien shirt in the bedroom, and one of your lovely hats. He was your son, after all, the same height and build as you. You told him you'd meet him downstairs.
And meanwhile, you've been working on the killer, stoking up her hatred of you.
Her?
You knew she had a gun. You knew she despised you with all of her heart, and you knew she had a short fuse.
So you lured her here, weapon in hand. Seth, top of the stairs, dressed like you, in the dark, as you made sure that the light wasn't working.
The killer, angry and hate-fueled with the gun.
All perfectly choreographed. Very clever.
You're in trouble, Max. Seth, the son you didn't want, didn't fit into your image. Your daughters and their dirty little secrets, and your legacy. You needed the Max Crockett name to be projected into the future. All three problems could have been solved on their own, but you put them together.
Many problems, one solution.
And what does a man do when he's in trouble? He turns to his family.
You got your daughter to kill your son, sir.
What do you mean, my daughter?
Ellie Crockett's in custody. She's confessed to the murder of Seth Murdoch.
No.
You wanted her to take over the company. You knew she'd refuse, so you provoked her to want to kill you. And then when she shot the wrong guy, you had her in your control. Ellie, if you don't take over the company, I'm going to the police.
Listen, you can't prove any of this. Right? It's some kind of twisted, envy, politics of envy, that's what it is. You, people like you, envy people like me.
That's right. I do envy you. Because you know what? If I had come up with that solution, I probably wouldn't have the balls to go through with it. But then again, I'm not Max Crockett. And this is Max Crockett's world, isn't it? And we're all just dancing to Max Crockett's tune. You did this because you could, and you love it. You love to be the smartest one, the inventor, the entrepreneur, the king of Bath, the head of the glittering family. The company, the house, the daughters, the grandchildren, the wife, the bloody hats. They're all just trophies, aren't they? This is all just a facade, isn't it? You're just an ego without a conscience and a soul, and you use your own daughter to kill your
not
son.
my daughter. I got cash and I kill him, you
Detective Sergeant Dodds, do we have full corroboration that Max Crockett just admitted to tricking Cassia Perry into murdering Seth Murdoch?
We do indeed, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
I'm only angry when I want to be, Max.
2 weeks ago, he's really working on me. Telling me I don't belong. I'm not good enough for Ellie. I'm scum, and he's gonna destroy our marriage. Sunday night he calls me. He's put it in his will. Ellie gets his fortune. But there's one condition. I have to leave Ellie.
You got into her head. But you're good at that, aren't you, Max? Getting into people's heads. She told us that an ex-boyfriend had come and threatened her and Ellie. How you'd found out and had an argument with her. Was she putting your daughter in danger? Kasia told you she had a gun to protect them.
A Colt 1911 she had bought on the black market. It was all falling into place, wasn't it?
You knew how fiercely Kasia loved Ellie, and you knew she had the means to kill. She walked right into your trap, which put her completely in your grip. You kept Kasia's name off the list of alarm code holders. You'd grass her up unless she convinced Ellie to take the company. Seth Murdoch's mum died when he was a baby. A life in care and foster homes, prison, drugs, and alcohol addiction. Abandoned by his father before he was even born. I reckon when he turned up, you rejected him because you thought he was scum. So he set out to prove that your family were just as bad. Whether he was a good man or not, we'll never know. But I think he just wanted to be a part of this family. No one deserves to die like that. Alone. No friends. No family. No father. You took that all away from him.
Men like us, sir. I'm afraid it's not our world anymore.
Keep it.
Might look like a bribe, sir.
Very good, Lauren. Sorry about that threat to remove you from the case. Cruel to be kind, you know. Just felt you needed a kick to get it over the line.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
Debriefing an hour.
He'll have a special place in his good books now, ma'am. Wrapping up a murder case in 1 week.
4 days.
Even better.
You know, you're quite good at this detective-y stuff.
Oh, thank you, ma'am.
But before you were stuck behind a desk for 10 years...
11.
Okay, 11. Did anyone actually notice you were good at this?
I don't know. I suppose I've always been, invisible.
I got you something.
A present?
Yeah. No, a small present for me, really. For your specs.
Oh, I really appreciate this, ma'am.
I'm here for 2 years tops. It's not like we're bonding.
Well, thank you anyway, but, it's very kind of you, ma'am.
Oh, my gosh, give it.
You okay, ma'am?
I really don't know.
Here tomorrow night, asking the big question, who killed Andrew Earlham? Returning for a second series, it's Liar at 9. Stay with me tonight for the ITV News, coming up next.